What is going on, everybody? Today is April 1st, and I want to do a trade recap on today's trading session. I want to talk about exactly what I was looking for and what I executed on today's trade. All right, so we came into the market open today, and there was multiple key economic data points that were coming out today. We had one at 8:30 in the morning, and then we had one at 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning was after when the market opened, so that's what we waited for. We had two big important economic data points that were coming out at 10, so we really wanted to wait for that. And also the chart, this is the QQQ, it told us exactly that, right? So typically in the morning, I like to wait at least 15 minutes. I want to see what the first 15-minute candle does, because this will dictate direction, and this will make it, a lot more clear for me what way we're going to be going. Okay, so I always want to be looking at the markets in general before I even want to think about executing a trade on any other ticker, such as MU or Tesla or whatever it may be. I want to make sure I know which direction the market is going in. Okay, so NASDAQ, first 15 minutes, you can see this 15-minute candle is just a giant doji candle, right? Like, what's a doji candle? It's an indecision candle. And you can see that because we have one giant wick at the bottom and we have one giant wick at the top. Okay, so luckily my rule is to wait at least 15 minutes. Okay, so this protects me from being chopped up and faked out, right? Like, if I switch this on to 2-minute, you'll see how easily you could have been chopped up and faked out. Look at this. Okay, so if you see the first, 6 to 10 minutes, you're thinking, oh, we're going to be surging, we're strong, this is great, I'm going to look for a pullback, I'm going to go long. But then what happens is you get a big slam down. Okay, so then you see the slam down, and then you're thinking, oh, okay, the market's going to fail. This is perfect. I'll catch a bear flag to catch the move down. But really, you're not seeing the market context by just watching the first, 10, 15 minutes of the day on a 2-minute. That's why I don't like to do that. And I like to physically just watch the 15-minute, because that's going to really help me from being faked out. Okay, so let's go back to the chart for today's session. You'll see first 15 minutes. Big giant doji saved me from being chopped up, thinking we're going up, then thinking we're going down. Basically, nothing happened. Okay, so I didn't do anything. The next 15 minutes, closer to 10 now, I'm still waiting for data, and I'm waiting for the 15 to show me something, right? And again, just another doji candle inside the 15-minute bar here. So again, nothing's happening. There's no reason to force a trade, but at the same time, on this side, I'm watching MU. Now, why am I watching MU? Is because it's the strongest stock of the day, and it's very clean, it's strong, there's not many indecision candles. It's very clear that it's the strongest stock of the day. It was up at peak, I think, like 10 to 12%, so it was outperforming all the other stocks. Okay, so I didn't want to take the trade yet until Q figured itself out, because if this thing starts tanking on me and I'm trying to go long on MU, that's going to bite me in the ass, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I wait for data. On this candle right here, after data comes out, this kind of shows us that we've picked true direction, right? This candle right here picks true direction. Now we start surging up and breaking out from our levels. Okay, once I see that, I'm starting to get dialed in on MU. Okay, I start seeing MU. This is a 5-minute chart, and typically my strategy is I wait for the first 9 EMA pullback. That's the yellow line right here. So whether that be at a level like high of day, whether that be pre-market high like this blue dotted line, or the first tap of the 9 EMA. Okay, so that's what I did. So I'll switch this chart here to MU and show you the 2-minute and show you my entry and how I executed this trade. Okay, so this one was a little tricky. Like, if you're not used to watching these charts and understanding price action, you can easily get faked out or take an early entry. But what I did was I waited for this pullback. Okay, when this pullback happened to the 13 EMA on the 2-minute, that's the yellow line right here, this has not yet come back to the 5-minute 9 EMA. Okay, the 5-minute will dictate direction a lot better than the 2-minute. So I don't watch the 2-minute as much as I watch the 5-minute based on what time of day it is. This happened around 10:30 in the morning, and I'm still watching the 5-minute for direction. Okay, so I'm not rushing into this until I get that proper retest. Now, when I got that proper retest, you can see here when we zoom in, it broke that level, but quickly reclaimed and soaked it up. Soaked it up meaning we had this big, long, giant wick, and it came right back up, and the body turned green, turned bullish. Okay. When I saw that, that's this candle right here, this 2-minute candle. So if you were to enter on this 2-minute thinking this is the bounce, you would have got stopped out because this candle right here came down, closed below, and kept going down. So you would have taken a loss if you did that. But that's why we want to watch the higher time frames for direction, for true direction, especially later in the morning. Okay. Once this closed, this was this candle right here. We closed back above the 13 EMA, so that shows a reclaim. I waited for this candle right here to show me what it wants to do. And again, we try to go lower, but look, the buyer soaked it up. And we came right back and we closed right here on a nice hammer candle. See that big wick and a little hammer? That shows me buyers are present, and every attempt lower, we're getting soaked up and we're going right back up. So that's where I took my entry, right around here on this candle. We start consolidating here. And then this candle here gives us a beautiful flip. Like we're consolidating for about 6 to 8 minutes, and then boom, this one just gets really strong, really fast, and that's what gave me conviction in the trade. I took that long right here. This was my entry. I scaled out to new highs right here, and then I trailed my position because QQQ was a little choppy today, so I just didn't want to risk giving any profit back. So once we saw this candle break back below the high of day here, I trailed it a little tight, so that was probably my mistake today because it went a lot higher, so I did just leave a lot on the table, but I still secured a good win, and I was patient enough to take this trade just right. So that's my execution today. I chose the strongest stock of the day. I made sure QQQ was cooperating before I got that entry, and I executed the perfect trade. The only thing I would do differently is trail my runner not as tight, so more of a break-even trade on the runner, because that would have secured me a lot bigger of a win. That would have took me probably till around here, and then I would have got stopped around here when we started closing and breaking down here. And then you see what happened at the end of the day. We just gave it most of it back, came down here, and then pretty much flat for the day. So yeah, that's my execution for today. I had a good win on MU. It took about an hour and 50 minutes of waiting around to catch that. We were live this morning. Yeah, I'll be doing these lives a lot, guys. So if you want to join me in the morning, I'll be on at 9:30 in the morning. I'll be streaming live and taking my executions live. And if you want to join me, that would be awesome. We can chop it up. You can write your questions in the chat, and we can discuss mindsets. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.